The teaser for Season 3 of Squid Games is out, and it may have broke the internet. I broke down everything I've seen, and may have not seen at first, so you don't have to. Let's get right into the first scene. In the first scene, we see the guards carrying the coffin-shaped gift box we all know. Player 333 is seen walking up from behind the beds to see who's inside. Fast forwarding a little, we see players gathering around, including player 120, player 222 Jinnie, player 149 and her son player 007. Next we see player 388, Dae-ho, who has stopped panicking from the PTSD we know he was going through in the last episode of Season 2. Next we see someone opening up the coffin box who we know is player 120, due to her signature black nail polish. As she reveals the person inside, it's none other than hiiiii player 456, the last we know of hiiiii is when his rebellion was stopped from the front man. hiiiii was devastated as the front man killed his childhood best friend player 390 in front of him. Moving forward, we can see a completely new room. We can see the players turning their heads. Guards here, and hiiiii in the middle. We can see he's standing in front of what looks like a gumball machine. Behind him is what everyone speculates is a keyhole. We now see there's red and blue balls in the machine. We see a player turning the knob and a red ball falling from it. We now see it's hiiiii. After hiiiii, we see player 222, Jinnie, turning the knob. We can see the return of the VIPs in this scene. What's different about the VIPs is there is now a female VIP sitting in the group. Fans speculate she might be Guard 11, but my guess is just she's simply a new addition. We can see they're being served dinner by men in black masks. Now we see a player walking through a game. We can see now that that player is hiiiii. Now there's a few things to see as soon as hiiiii turns the corner, the timer turns to the time. 4:56. We can see there's a player wearing a blue vest who is dead on the wall behind him. We see the front man right here, the blue and red balls and player 333. I'm slowing down this next clip as it goes pretty fast. Here we see player 120 gets a blue ball. Player 124, who's without his leader Thanos, who got a red ball, and player 7 who got a blue ball, however he is on the opposing team of his mother. A common theory is that the game they're playing involves red players as hunters with knives and blue players who have keys. The blue players need to unlock the correct door with keys and not get killed by the red players. Moving on, we can see a square guard looking at the players in the room. We see the majority of the players are on the circle side, even though it was an even number on each side last season. My theory is the sides aren't based on who wants to stay or leave, but based on who received the red or blue ball. Another possible theory is that the money was flaunted in front of them, again changing their decision. We don't really know for sure until the season releases. Next up, we see a player walking down the aisle, players with anxious expressions on their faces, and most strikingly hiiiii handcuffed to the beds. A popular theory is that because hiiiii convinced players to vote X frequently in the last season, the front man forbid him to interact with the players as they vote, and had the guards handcuff him. In this scene, we see red boxes being rolled on a car and blue boxes being handed out to players wearing blue vests. This is another part I had to slow down. We can see player 120 with her fists up ready to fight a red player. This backs up the same theory I mentioned. In this scene, we see player peeking from the keyhole. We all speculate. We can tell this is the fortune teller lady player 044 due to the eyeliner in her waterline. In the clip right after, we see player 125 who was befriended from player 380. We know in the last season he betrayed players 380 during the mingle game. We see he looks scared here. In these next scenes, we see first the frontman, a player turning the knob of the dispenser, a blue ball falling, and right here, player 388 Dae-ho looking at either the player beside him or got startled from a gunshot. Here we see Guard 11 climbing through the vents holding a flashlight. We've seen this before, as Squid in Season 1 smuggled through the vents in order to find out the next game. This proves the theory everyone is talking about, which is Guard 11 is trying to stop the games. In the next scene, we see a dead player being scanned by a guard. The scanner reads, "Ready, please scan." We can tell this is the father of the child, who is in the hospital player 246 due to his beard. In the scene after that, we see a guard talking on a walkie-talkie with TV screens behind him, showcasing the staircases. After that, we see guards running with guns and hand blue and red balls. And then Officer Hwang Jin-ho in scuba gear. It appears he's ready to invade the games. We see a guard looking up at the island. The games are held at then guard 11 is looking down, standing on a wind propeller gun in hand. Next, a guard in the keyhole room, then the players in that same room. We can see blue players on the left, majority of the red players on the right, except for some blue players, and at the bottom, we see players bowing down to what looks like they're worshipping the fortune teller lady. My guess is she has these specific players following her beliefs. We see a VIP, and right here guard 11 flicking a lighter. Although hard to see, I noticed the same sticks of files from when Officer Hwang Jin-ho snuck into the games in Season 1. Proving our theory once again. Another shot of the VIPs, then Officer Hwang Jin-ho shooting in what looks like a VIP room. Here player 333 is seen in distress with blood smeared on his face. It appears he is in the maze. A theory is something tragic happened to player 222. Afterwards, we see a player drawing an arrow on the wall of what looks like to be the maze. We see the player is drawing this arrow in blood, and they are wearing bracelets on their wrist. A theory is this is a player from the red team trying to help a blue player escape. Next, we see player 149 with her hair down crying. The most obvious theory is that her son player 007 died. Here we see the piggy bank is on the floor, which is unusual because the piggy bank is usually hung from the ceiling. Finally, we see Ji-hyun rising, then player 222 Jin-hee crying. As this part is important, it's not as significant as the sound we hear towards the end, which is the baby cry. This leads us to believing player 222 give birth to her baby this season and may suffer childbirth. That's it for our analysis. Let me know your theories. Next video will be my analysis of the trailer that's even more intense and nerve-wracking. Bye bye for now and enjoy your day or night.